Hey guys, welcome to the clubhouse. I'm Billy Jackson, and today's review is going to be on A Quiet Place, Day 1. Okay, now, I love this franchise. I think that the first Quiet Place movie is a masterpiece, mainly because of the family dynamic in the movie. You know, we don't know where these creatures come from, but all we know is that you got to stay quiet because one little sound and you're dead. And I think that's a great concept, especially with the first movie. You know, they established the lore very, very quickly, and just insanity ensues. And the first movie takes place, you know, like a year and a half after, you know, they first landed. And the second one takes place a few days afterwards, continuing with, you know, the family. And I like the second one just as much. I think it's a great movie. And I heard that they were going to do this third one about the very first day, but I was reluctant because I'm not really usually a fan of prequels. But was it any good? Yes! This movie was fantastic. Usually, you know, sequels, the more they make, the lesser quality they get. But in this case, I thought it is just the same as the other movies. You know, granted, the first one is the best one of the trilogy so far, and I know they're going to make more movies because this movie's going to make money because it is a great film. You know, it's a great horror movie. And, you know, we're not even in spooky season yet. And I can't wait for spooky season because that's my favorite time of year. And because of movies like this, I love horror movies. I love monster movies. And with this one, you know, the creatures land and there are hundreds of them. And they're just attacking just everybody because, you know, they don't know to be quiet. And they learn to try to be quiet. But each little sound just makes them all come and just tear everything and everybody apart, and it's really terrifying. Now, I will say, I was hoping with this movie we might get a little insight on where the creatures come from, how did they get here. We know they just came down on asteroids or whatever, but why? You know, why are they here? No, we're not getting that, guys, and I'm not going to spoil anything in this movie. I just want to fair warn you that they don't explain anything, just like in the other movies. But they didn't need to, in my opinion, because, look, we know what these creatures are all about. You make sound, you're getting killed. And that's just the way it is. So it's all about being quiet. And this movie is a quiet place, let me tell you. There are only like 20 or 30 lines of dialogue. I mean, I'm under-exaggerating a little bit, but there is not a lot. This movie is total silence through. I mean, I'd say about 75% of the movie is just silent, and I'm good with that, you know, because it's silent in theater. You actually want to be quiet while you're watching these movies, and that's what makes it so interactive, I think. Now, there was a good part in the theater where it was dead silent. The characters were trying to, you know, stay quiet, you know, because there's a creature roaming around, and somebody dropped some metal pan or something in the theater, and it was hilarious because everybody jumped. And it was just like being quiet. You know, you're scared, you're terrified because, you know, you're immersed in what's going on. And then you hear clank, 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 clank all of a sudden. Man, it was freaky. But it made it a fun movie-going experience. Just that one little second of timing was perfect. Everybody did a great job in this movie. The characters, you know, I felt for them. And Nuina Topanga, I think her name is. I'm butchering her name, sorry, but she's a fantastic actress, and she did another fantastic job in this movie. All the characters did. I felt for them. I, you know, empathized with everything that was going on. And she does have this cat, and you know, I'm a cat lover. I love cats, but there are some things that this cat did that I thought were out of the scope of reality, but it didn't take me out of the movie at all. But there were a couple of scenes where I was like, I don't think that cat would do that. But it did, and it's all good because it didn't take away from what was going on from what the humans were doing, because the humans were doing exactly what I thought humans were doing, and I think that's what's important for a movie like this. But Anyway, guys, it was a great time. It was horrifying. If you're a fan of the first two movies, you're going to love this movie. But just know it's just more of the same. It's just they land, they start killing everybody. You have to be quiet and try to get from point A to point B. And that's all it is. You get to point B and the movie's over. So don't expect any information. Now, there was one thing in this movie that we don't see in the previous films. I'm not going to spoil it, but I thought that was really cool what they did. So if you know what I'm talking about, just don't spoil it in the comments or anything. But I do want to know if you liked something new that we saw. It was very brief, but it was very cool. And I did think it did give me a little insight on how they reproduce and stuff like that. But anyway, guys, that being said, love this movie, love the performances, the writing, the directing, everything was spot on. Definitely go to the theater to see it because I think it's worth the theater experience, because I had a great time and it felt like everybody in the theater with me had a great time, and I think you would too. But anyway, it's not all about what I think. What do you think? Have you seen A Quiet Place Day One? Do you plan on watching it? Let me know in the comments below. Remember to like my videos and subscribe to my channel. And as always, make yourself happy every day. And the only way to do that is to remember the only thing stopping you is you stopping. Bam!